Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I am Nova. Welcome. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. I actually noticed I got a few new followers, so thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the content and feel free to introduce yourself in the comments. I read all of my comments. And if this is not your first time, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you. And today is Sunday, so our weekend is over. I hope everybody had a good weekend. If you did something fun, let me know what you did in the comments. I am just going to show you guys, I have one finished object and a couple of whips. The finished object you guys have seen, it was that offset Trinity square that I was working on, but I do not believe that I came on and actually showed you guys the finished square. And I'm having some popcorn, and I'm drinking blackberry lemon aha. So if you guys like sparkling water, the like unsweetened flavored kinds, this one is a super good one. Alrighty, without further ado, I will start with showing you the finished object, which is this offset Trinity square. I know I showed you guys this before, but I don't believe I showed you the finished square. I was telling you guys that this is like a super squishy stitch. It is an extremely satisfying stitch to feel. Like I said, it's really soft. It creates like a really nice tight, tightly woven stitch. You know, it's not gappy like a lot of crochet stitches are. And this is part of that crochet along, oh gosh, what is it? Oh, it's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. Anyway, it's part of that blanket crochet along that I had shown you guys the modern granny stitch from. It's going to pop in my head randomly when I'm not trying to think about what it is. But this is the offset Trinity square. And I will link the video for this in the comment, or not in the comments, in the description. I wrote down some notes, so I'm checking to see. Yeah, it's the offset Trinity stitch square. Yeah, I didn't write down the name of the blanket that it's part of. Man, what is it? I can't remember, but anyway, about it, I will have that linked in the description. And this is a, it's part of a crochet along where they do a different square every day, and there's going to be 30 different squares, and they're all going to be like 8 by 8, and then you put it together and you have a blanket where all of the squares are unique, and so you don't have to like remake the same squares over and over. This was the second square in it, and then that leads into one of my work in progresses, which is this, which is the blossom stitch granny square. Actually have it upside down. Excuse me. This is what it looks like. This one I was really struggling with, I'm not gonna lie. I was working on this a few days ago, and I ended up just putting it away and working on something else, because sometimes you need to do that with a project. And this one was just giving me issues. I felt like I was having trouble keeping up with the video tutorial. And I have told you guys about this before, but I'd never actually done it before. I had heard about how you could slow down videos on YouTube if you needed to. And I did that for this one, so I wanted to tell you guys how to do that in case anyone wanted to do that for tutorials but didn't know how. So when the video is pulled up on YouTube, there's a little gear icon down in the bottom. I believe it's on like the right hand side, and that's the settings for the video. If you click the settings, there will be a playback speed option, and then I did 0.75, and that was like good enough. That was like slowed down enough for me. Yeah, I think that's the only notes I'd written. So in case anyone else ever needed to do that, but they weren't sure how to do that, now you know. So anyway, this is what this blossom stitch one is looking like. I'll probably come back to this tomorrow and work on it, and maybe I'll find that I was just being silly and it actually shouldn't give me any issue at all, but I was just struggling with it for some reason. And I've talked about the colors I'm using for these when I did the modern spike stitch granny square video, but just to recap, because I do have this one still connected, it's the Fireplace Comfort, and this particular color is Veiled Amethyst. I was trying to remember what this one's colorway is, because I don't have it over here right now. I don't remember. If you want to know what the colorway is, this is a discontinued yarn. These Fireplace Comforts are unfortunately discontinued Hobby Lobby yarns. I do talk about it in the Spike Stitch Granny Square video, and I tell you all 3 different colors that I'm using for this project right now. And I'll probably add other colors at some point, but for now those are the 3. Also, now that I'm holding this up again, I was gonna say the colorway for this works up so beautifully on this square. I might end up making more of this square for the blanket, because, you know, you can do it your own way. You don't have to do every single square and only do one of each. Like, if you like one a lot, you could do more of it, and I actually really like this square. So yeah, and then this is that one. And then the other work in progress, I have talked about this before, but I haven't talked about it in a while. This is a scrap project. If I can find the top. I have my yarn attached at this corner, so I'm going to try to be careful not to pull it out too much. So this is an I don't know. I don't know if I'm making a rug or a blanket or what. The hubby says that it needs to be a blanket when I showed it to him a little bit ago. But this is my epitome of a scrap project. So what it is literally just made of scraps. Well, for the most part, made of scraps. I've started to work in some things that aren't scraps. And then I've got the corner is kind of rolled up. So what this is I've talked about it before, but like, when people talk about scraps, usually they're talking more about like what they have left of a skein of yarn after a project. When I talk about scraps, what I mean is like a length of yarn. My hands will be out of the video if I go too much longer than this, but like this long even. I have lots of pieces that are like this long in this blanket. Anything that's short enough that I could still tie them together and do something with them, because I keep all of my really little scraps to use as stuffing. But the longer ones, I wanted to use them in something. And this is something that I wanted to do since I started crocheting. I thought that it would look really cool to have all of these scraps that I tie together and make them into something. Like, just literally tons of colors, tons of, like, you know, variegations, and none of it, like, you know, coordinated or meant to match or anything like that. I thought it would just be so fun. And this is actually really soft. Because it's got blanket yarn, like this blue is blanket yarn. It's got like some velvety chenille types of yarn. The yarn that I was saying that I started to work in that's not technically a scrap yarn is, I don't know if you've seen that Cosy yarn from Bernat. It's like Bernat Cosy, and they have it in like a bunch of different colors. I don't know if they still make it or if they got rid of it, because I did see it was clearanced out. But I bought like the pink one a while back, and I paid full price for it because I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so cool in my scrap project. And then I think I got a gray one on clearance, so that one will be in here too. But it's like a super scrappy looking ball of yarn that like changes colors. I have it right here, if I don't drop everything in this bag over here. So actually I could just show you what's in this bag. So for one, I have, these are scraps that will go into the blanket. And I have them like labeled like scrap yarn project, large / ready scrap bag. I was like, what does that say? The reason I wrote / ready is because tying all the yarn pieces together takes a really long time. So I will sit and I'll just spend like a few hours tying together yarn. And then those ones are ready and I like ball them up. But currently I've went through all of the balls that I had, like prepped. And then this is that Cosy yarn that I was talking about. It's like kind of like a scrap yarn on its own. It's just like a really scrappy, like chaotic ball of yarn. It is extremely soft. I really don't even know what this is, but I love it. And I was like, that's perfect. Like, this is like the vibe that I had for this scrap project. So I just thought I would give you guys an update. I haven't talked about it in a while, but I was working on it the other day, and I probably actually have a good amount of scraps now to get some good work in on it. So I'll probably be working on this more, actually, until I start doing my mandala projects, because I've still got like another week and a day until I can start my next mandala project. I may have started it a little bit, but we won't talk about it. I'm not doing very much. It's okay. Anyway, I think I will work on this. And this is like my wingspan. I can't like show you all the way, but it goes from arm to arm and it's very wide. So it could definitely be a blanket. But yeah, super soft, super... Hubby says my blanket, because the other one that he tried to claim, Lincoln, my cat, claimed, which by the way still stands. He still claims that blanket. I love this. It kind of reminds me of like sprinkles and cupcakes and stuff, like the way this looks. It just massively gives me like sprinkly cupcake kind of vibes. But yeah, so that is my Sunday update for you guys. I also started working on something else, but I will show you guys that in tomorrow's video. So that is my Sunday update for you guys. I hope everybody has had a great weekend. And I hope everybody has a great week. I will see you guys tomorrow, and feel free to let me know what you guys are doing today in the comments. All right, guys, see you tomorrow. Bye.